And what's great about working with streamers is that when you align creatively, things can move really fast.
One thing also that was important in picking this movie is that there's always this misconception that streamers are not necessarily supporting first films for directors. And Kamel was actually his first movie as a director. But as we take those bets, we also want to surround those directors' first-time experience with the best. And we were sure that Gaumont could set up the right team surrounding Kamel to make sure that we're going to set him up for success in directing his first feature.
And in terms of financing, is it less complicated when it's a primary?
It's actually just us. Like the main difference in between what we just spoke about with was Vartan is that there are the different sources of financing, right? On Vartan, we just put like 50% of the financing. And when it comes to like a streaming movie, we're actually financing 100% and bearing all the risk. So this is the main difference, but it's all contractual, right? When it comes to how it works with the people, we actually love to say that we're not here to tell like experts how they should work, right? They are experts, so this is why we're working with them. So the reality is that even if here we're financed 100%, as we built the trust over the years and projects, it was the same easy way of working.
And yeah, Rémi, I mean, you make films of all kinds. So is there any difference when you're working with a Prime Video compared to just in-house at Gaumont?
Yeah, I mean, to jump on what Thomas said, it's pretty amazing because, you know, as producers, we usually spend years and years trying to make movies happen. And what's great about working with streamers is that when you align creatively, things can move really fast afterwards. So yeah, and you have like one person to talk to take all the decisions with. So yeah, it's pretty fluid and helpful in that way.
If you compare the Sylvie Vartan, we started the development in 2021 and it was released in 2025. And Carjacker, we went very quickly. It took us like even less than a year.
Which for a first film especially, I mean, those can take, decades.
Kamel was happy.
So it's a very different way to produce.
Right, and a built-in audience, all the already. So where and when did you film?
We shot last year from February to April 2024, and we went to shoot on location in southwest of France, in Biarritz and around, which was pretty pleasant.
Sounds really rough.
Yeah, I have a hard job, I have to say. And for all the action sequences, car scenes and car chases specifically, we went to Germany, where we had access to a proper racetrack, which allowed us to have the freedom and of course the security as well to push the action to the next level. And the movie dropped on Amazon like a year afterwards, March 2025. So Marine is right, it was pretty fast.
It sounds amazing. Were there any challenges? What were some of the challenges in producing this?
Yeah, I mean, on top of my mind, and we just talked about how fast things went, and so that's one of the great things about working with streamers, to have a pretty clear calendar to work with, because as soon as like Thomas greenlit the movie, we had a very clear release date, so we have a tight planning, which was already tight to work together to develop the movie, finalize the script, cast the movie as well, all of these things we did together. And as I told you about this, the main location and key element of this movie, which is the luxury high-end hotel, it was one of the first thing we worked on during the preparation to find the location, and it was pretty hard because, as you can imagine, finding a five-star palace that would let us shot for several weeks and not host every guest. We finally find this amazing place in Biarritz, but when we tried to secure the location, they had like a very specific time, which was February, like 3 months earlier than the planned date. So we had to make it fit and work, and it was a lot of talks with all the head departments to make it work. But yeah, we did it.